Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, and all glories to your Indian trip. And despite of being anywhere in the world, you relentlessly having so many efforts, doing so many services to the Srila Prabhupada and for the pleasure of Krishna and Prabhupada. And it is a pleasure for us that you have accepted to give this class even from India also, despite of your busy schedules there. And we can see a lot of preaching activities in and videos in our WhatsApp groups and all also regarding your trip. And we are very happy to welcome you for this session and have your kind association and valuable lessons that you teach us from the Srila Prabhupada books. And it is very nice, Prabhu, actually, to talk to you. As you told, there is as far as your Vani is there, whether it is from India or Singapore, it will be very happy to hear that and get answers from so many questions in our day-to-day life and Krishna consciousness life from Srila Prabhupada books. And as he tell, like even Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta also tells, like, I don't want many stars in the sky, one moon is enough. So like that, you are that kind of one moon in his disciples who can show us the light even in the darkness also, and show Prabhupada's mercy and Krishna's mercy. And once again, welcome to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, accept my obeisances, all glories to all of you. Thank you very much for inviting to your wonderful association. I am blessed every week to be able to be of some minor service to all of you. Thank you again. So anyone has got, I think there's a question, no?
In chat, Prabhu, first question came. So I'll read that, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So a question by one of our devotees in the group chat. His name is Vishnu Kalahara, and the question is, Hare Krishna. I wanted to know what precisely Srila Prabhupada's opinion of Islam is. I have read that Muhammad is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada as a devotee of God. However, Muhammad is referred to be a ghostly figure and called Mlecha in the Bhavishya Puran. How are we to understand this? Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please apologize any of my ignorance. And this question is asked by Manu Das Prabhu. Manu Prabhu.
So of course, we have high regard for Jesus Christ and also Muhammad because they are preaching their religion. So he has been glorified by Prabhupada as an incarnation of Satyavesh avatar, spreading the Muslim religion in that region of the world where people were misguided. So apart from that, we are not dwelling on the subject of his character or nature or anything like that because we don't want to create any hostility with anybody. And Prabhupada was very careful in trying to, unite everybody under Krishna consciousness. And he was more or less encouraging people to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You see, rather than creating fights and problems, he wanted to encourage people to chant so that they can become purified, and in this way they can get to love Krishna. See the point. So that much we want to speak about Muhammad and Jesus Christ. Yes, because there's so many things are written in the Quran and so many things are there. I think if you want, you can read about it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Rahul Prabhu, you raised your hand, is it?
Yes, Prabhuji. I would like to ask Prabhuji something. Uh,
Should I go ahead?
Yes.
Uh, very happy to see you again, dear Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Uh, thank you. I watched your video, like you were chanting like 2:30 in the morning. Devotees shared on the group. It was really, I was awestruck how you must be having so much taste in the chanting. I was really like, I fall down at your lotus feet to beg some mercy for myself. Also, let I have some taste. I'm already, like a fan. How you are so much well versed in Prabhupada's books, and really, I appreciate all the other lectures also from other devotees, which I get to hear Tattva with Prabhu, Vishwambar Prabhu. And but I feel you are the best person to ask any question because of your seniority. So I'm just again raising a question. I hope it's relevant for others as well. So the context is, I sometimes do meet devotees. There is one ISKCON devotee whom I met. There are no ISKM devotees here physically. So just, like my feeling is, they are more Buddhist here, and I find them, they are quite happy people. We are like in the mountain state, and people are around the Buddhist state. The state of Bhutan also, it's considered a very happy state. um, like people have very good relations, although they are not following the best of regulations in terms of eating, like they are non-vegetarian, and like, but they are quite happy. I feel, what to talk of preaching to them about chanting Hare Krishna and becoming happy. I feel myself, very humble that how they are so happy. Probably I feel it's our karma, how much happy we can be and how much distress is there. But I was, thinking to turn more to scriptures. Like I heard from a devotee, he told Bhagavad Gita 5:23 verse, like how to become happy. So in that context, I wanted to know if there are some other happiness tips, or something I could apply. I'm trying to hear as much as I can through Zoom conferences, and interact with devotees as much as I can, and chant 16 rounds at least daily. But still, I feel I'm not very Brahmabhuta, or you can say a very highly, you can say, happy person. I feel like I have to do a lot more in order to be happy, but I'm not sure what to really do. Thank you, Prabhu.
Can you read this verse?
Sure. Um, one who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. So it is confirmed in the fifth chapter, 529, that when one understands that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all the good results of sacrifice and penance, that he is the proprietor of all universal manifestations, and he is the real friend of all uh, living entities, then only can one have real peace. Therefore, if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. Um, Disturbance is due to a want of an ultimate goal. If one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, proprietor, and friend of everyone and everything, then one can, with a steady mind, bring about peace. Therefore, one who is engaged in without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and is without peace. However, much he may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement in life. Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested, peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna. Prabhuji, I have this little doubt here. They are talking that we should have goal and all that. I feel like sometimes I'm not sure, but there's also said that there is some happiness in goodness, which I see people around me are having kind of, with the goal oriented mentality. Sometimes there can be, I try to intellectually, is hammered in my brain. Yes, I have to have higher goal, I have to have higher goal of Krishna and all. But ultimately at present, I am not always feeling really blissful, although having that goal.
As long as you are not connected to Krishna, you cannot become happy. That
Prabhuji,
is,
I try to connect. I try my level best, but sometimes it's quite elusive. I then ultimately submit to the fact maybe I have some bad karma or something that I'm not supposed to be that happy.
that you are not guided by a proper spiritual master. You have not surrendered to the spiritual master. So therefore, you are hovering on the mental plane. So as long as you are in the mental plane, you cannot become peaceful. Because the mind's nature is to always give misery. That's the nature of the mind. So when you become connected to the spiritual process, to a spiritual master, then yes, you transcend the three modes of material nature, and then you become happy. Happiness, real happiness is beyond the three modes of material nature. Until you are liberated, you will have this problem. You understand? Huh?
Yes,
So you
Prabhuji.
have to come to that transcendental position, and that can only happen when you take shelter of a pure devotee.
Okay.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, I don't want to contradict, like the Prabhupada is saying, there is no possibility of peace and happiness, but we do see people are happy. I mean, at least I am seeing people are happy, but they are not taken shelter of Krishna, I would say.
That is a very, what we say, ambiguous statement because you feel about others only, but you don't know until you talk to them.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Everybody can externally show sign of some pleasantness. Pleasantness doesn't mean they're happy. Unless you really talk to them. And the moment you talk to them, then they will vomit out all their problems. So therefore,
Prabhuji, those who are in mode of goodness
you are
also,
not
I mean,
when you're not in
not
the
to contradict.
transcendental position, when you're not in the transcendental position, you cannot see these things. Who is happy, who is sad, who this is not possible. Understand? Only a liberated person can do that. So to become liberated means you are, in a very highly advanced spiritual position. You follow? So to
Yes,
just
Prabhuji.
simply see someone as happy and someone as sad it's not a very valid statement.
Apparently, Prabhuji, I feel like the mode of goodness, happiness, which Krishna talks about, it's not transcendental, but it's still, I feel, there's that happiness. Mode of goodness,
Yes,
happiness, Prabhuji.
happiness is the property of God.
Okay.
Understand? And only He can give you happiness. This
Hmm.
other happiness you talk about is all temporary happiness, that's material. And as soon as you chase for happiness, distress already follows. What is that verse? Bhagavatam 7:9. Huh? Anyone knows? As soon as you go for happiness materially, distress is already following you. What is that? Hello? Who knows? 7:9 what? 7:9:44 what? Hmm. It says in the Bhagavatam, this is the fact. 7:42.
Yata dukkha mayanataha, Prabhu. So
Seven.
happiness and distress will come equal, even if you don't.
It says here 7:7 now. See here, all this are explained in our books. So you see here, in this material world, every materialist desire to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins the activities for happiness, his condition of distress begins. So where is the question of happiness? I mean, look, it's a very, as I've said, ambiguous statement. You want to really become happy, then you must go to the one who's most happy, and that's Krishna. And all these things that you perceive, or people in Bhutan are happy, people in India, maybe other places not happy, but in the material world, every place from Lord Krishna says here, no, is a place of misery. Huh? Every place where that verse, oh, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Puna Vartino Juna. 8
Yeah.
16, I think. That you see here, that Krishna Prabhupada translates here from the highest planet, the material world, down to the lower, the all places of misery. So where is the place of happiness? Then might as well we stay in the material world and don't need to go back to the spiritual world. Unless we go back to the spiritual world or go into spiritual consciousness, only then we can become happy, really happy. That's why we recommend everybody to chant, because the moment you chant, you get connected to Krishna, then your happy stage starts. You understand? Hmm?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Not that people in Bhutan are happy and people in Russia are unhappy. No, it doesn't make sense. Everywhere. Huh? Everywhere is a place of misery. You cannot get happiness in any part of the world. So the only happiness is coming from Krishna. So
Relatively speaking, Prabhuji, like as I may be mistaken, but I think even Prabhupada compared, like there are some heavenly places on earth like Switzerland and Hawaii, and there are hellish places on earth like I see on news, like some African countries, people are dying out of hunger. There is civil strife, Sudan, some other countries also. Like it's too much distress, too much heat, desert, and we can see little more suffering in some areas.
people in Switzerland may have very cynic view, but still they suffer from birth, death, old age, and disease. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you mean to say people in Switzerland don't die or something? Huh?
Relatively speaking, Prabhuji, I have noticed
Krishna
people
says
are
in the
happier.
Bhagavad Gita, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, Darshan. These are the four, what do you say, miserable things for everybody.
Yes.
You understand? You must know that happiness doesn't mean that the place is scenic or the place is warm or cool or whatever. Miseries means that you're going to face birth, death, old age, and disease. Tell me, where is the place you don't have all this? Except Vaikuntha, which has got no anxiety. That's why it is called Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. There's no birth, no death, no old age, and no disease, and no miseries. So that's why the Lord is inviting us to come back to Him, that place where you get full happiness. Whereas the material world is a place of birth and death, is full of miseries. Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah. So the only relief is to get connected to Krishna. The moment you get connected to Krishna, then you come to the happy stage. Even though you're suffering, because you're connected to Krishna, you're happy. You understand? Let's explain here.
Yes.
Yeah, let's read this. Devotional service is klesha agni even for beginners. This means that it reduces or nullifies all kind of suffering. The word subhada indicates that devotional service bestows all good fortune. The word Krishna, akarshine indicates that devotional service gradually attracts Krishna toward the devotee. So when the devotee gets Krishna, then he gets happiness because Krishna is full of happiness. You understand? Our whole life is to get back to our spiritual consciousness because we are spiritual person and we are always looking for happiness. That's our nature.
Yes.
Anandamayo Vyasat. We are always looking where to get this pleasure. But because we are looking in the wrong place, we are getting all these mixed results.
Yes,
You understand?
yes, Prabhuji.
You cannot say if I go to Bhutan I'll be happy, if I go to Switzerland I'll happy. I'm not happy in India. No, the cow is always thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Huh?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
understand? But
Yes, Prabhuji.
from Shastra we have find out that there's no place of happiness. This material world is not a place of happiness. So, in order to pacify us, Krishna has given us this Krishna consciousness. Only you
Yes.
come to me, you become happy. Now, if you don't want to do that, then how are you going to become happy? Huh?
Yeah.
You follow?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Your
Uh,
seeing is irrelevant, no, because you cannot see, what is right, what is wrong, because you're looking through your material vision.
mm,
You understand?
yes, Prabhuji.
Because you're subject to defect, your senses are subject to illusion, you're subject to mistakes. So, how with defective senses you can see this real thing? You cannot. That's why you must learn how to see through the eye of the scripture.
Yeah.
Understand? Seeing means not with this material vision. Seeing means hearing the spiritual in knowledge. Understand? That's
Yes,
how
Prabhuji.
to see. Otherwise, how to see? That's why the first thing is to hear. You have to go and hear from the realized soul.
Yeah.
Krishna is advising Arjuna to not see, to hear.
Mm,
Correct?
yes, Prabhuji.
So the seeing is useless. So we have to learn how to hear. And when we hear from the spiritual master, then that's real seeing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Uh, yeah, Prabhuji, I would like to just narrate one incident. Like in Buddhists and all, they have kind of philosophy. You be kind to others, then happiness will come back to you. You give happiness to others. I know some of my uncle. He was a very nice social worker. He was quite happy throughout his life. He did good work to other on mundane level, but all of a sudden he got depression and he passed away in the
So
last 1 year.
if your uncle has been always been happy, then how he got depression? Strange.
Some strange thing happened. I'm like, amazed myself how without connection to Krishna, some of the time he said he was very jolly and very nice, and then all of a sudden he got depressed and he died.
That's the problem because he's not connected to Krishna. Here you can see that if a person is connected to Krishna, he's never shaken even in the midst of greatest difficulty. You can see here, huh? Being
Mm,
situated in such a position, one is never shaken even in the midst of the greatest difficulty. That's the position who is connected to Krishna. Understand? He doesn't suddenly go into depression. It will never happen to him because he is fixed. Understand? So
yeah.
you need to know the difference between one who is Krishna conscious and one who is not Krishna conscious. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yes.
Uh, this is the difference because people who are not Krishna conscious, they cannot have any good qualities. Hmm?
Yeah.
They cannot. How can they have? And one who have no good qualities, they cannot become peaceful.
Yeah.
Says here, you see, all the demigods, all the demigods and the exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept in the practice of mystic yoga, honors endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculation and must engage in the service of the Lord external energy. How can there be any good quality in such a man? Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And
Apparently it looks they are very good. Some are, Prabhuji, there is one investor kind of person. He is such a philanthropist. He's giving 99% of his wealth. I mean, for devotees, or I heard like 50% is difficult task, and somebody is giving 99% of his billions of dollars. Some Warren Buffett, this person investor in US. So I'm amazed, like how can one such big, so good, and I feel like some they have apparently some good qualities, but there is no basis. I'm not sure on what he is having. Such some are very philanthropic.
There's a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakala E Asanta. Krishna Bhakti Ateva.
Nishkama Ateshant.
A Krishna devotee is happy. Others are all not happy. Even if it's a philanthropist or what, it cannot become happy. That is the Vedic of the Shastra. So if you
Okay.
really want to know who is happy, then only a devotee can be happy. There's nobody
Okay.
else can be happy. Even if they are happy, it's only for a temporary reason. They cannot be permanently happy, you know. You
Thank you
understand?
so much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
So that is something you must understand. You cannot judge happiness with our senses. It's not possible. Huh? Any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, accept my humble obeisances. Prabhu, in
Hmm.
the Bhagavatam, we see the story of this demon Vrikasura or Bhasmasura. He gets a boon with Lord Shiva that may death come to whomever I touch upon the head with my hand. Now, Shiva being the Gunavatar of Vishnu, he easily knew the past, present, and future.
Hmm.
And he could have easily knew that after giving this boon to this demon, this Vrikasura even can test this boon upon me. So he could have disappeared from that place. Instead, he ran all the way to the outer world, and at last he went to Lord Vishnu, for rescue. So now, how did such big personality got into such trouble? Like he knows the future, right? But did Shiva purposefully did to show the supremacy of Vishnu, or how is it possible, Prabhu?
See, all these activities are done by the Krishna's, energy. So to enact this pastime and to show the supremacy of Krishna.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Just like he also put Lord Brahma into trouble by, him having stealing all the cows, right?
Yes.
So Krishna is doing all this activity to teach by using all these great personalities to educate people like us to understand that how he is the supreme personality of Godhead.
Yes.
So this Lord Shiva's incident, because there are many Shiva devotees who always say that Lord Shiva is the supreme.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, bro.
Lord Shiva is in trouble, so and then he went to Krishna. This puts their what so-called devotion to Lord Shiva in question.
Yes, bro.
Understand? Huh?
Yes, bro.
Because the hardcore Saivites will not accept it, but these are facts in the Shastra.
Prabhu, for this kind of situations,
Hmm.
they quote something like, let's say, like halahal when Shiva takes, right?
Hmm.
Or so how, like Prabhu, then this one and that one uh, we can understand.
That's again the Lord Shiva, like this, that Krishna wanted to glorify Lord Shiva and he made him drink the poison. So he also educating all the Shiva devotees not to imitate the behavior of Lord Shiva. Many
Yes.
of the people are imitating Lord Shiva. They kind of smoke ganja and do so many crazy things. They think that Lord Shiva does all this stuff. So then, if we can do all this stuff, you also drink some poison? Hmm? Can you do that?
No, Prabhu.
Yeah. So Krishna, he acts mysteriously how to educate the conditioned souls to Krishna consciousness. Because ultimately Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. How to make everybody surrender to Krishna. If someone is surrendering to Shiva and someone going here, going there, especially all these Hindus, they got millions of headaches with millions of gods. Right? Yes? Huh? So
Yes, Prabhu.
unless these pastimes are all enacted and Krishna's position is soundly established, how the people will develop devotional service? Because only Krishna can save someone. No demigod can do that. Right? That is spoken by the demigod themselves. Correct? Yeah? The demigod themselves say, except for liberation. Huh? I think is what, 51 or something? Huh? 1051, what? The demigods are saying that only Vishnu can give you liberation. Nobody else can. Huh? Hello?
Yes, bro.
It says here, he was fighting for the demigods, and then he became tired. Huh? I think it's 1051. We can give you anything you want except liberation. Correct? Huh? So you have to see how powerful, Krishna is. Huh? So you see 51:20. You see this verse here? Hmm? All good fortune to you. Now please choose a benediction from us. Anything but liberation, since only the infallible Supreme Lord Vishnu can bestow that. So you see how only Krishna can give you liberation, and if you go worship all the demigods and all these things, you cannot get out. Krishna wants to bring us home, no? Correct. He loves us so much. He wants to take us back. So how to elevate us unless he shows stories and pastimes and enact all this kind of activities to educate the conditioned souls, to bring about their devotion to him. You follow? Hmm? So Lord Shiva's pastime, Lord Brahma's pastime, Lord Indra's pastime, like that there's so many activities to establish the supremacy of Krishna. So until and unless one develops love for Krishna, there's no question of his salvation. The demigods can give you demigods, you can go to the planet of the demigods, correct? What is that verse? 8, 14, 18, right? In this verse you can see in the Bhagavad Gita it says, those who are worshipping the demigods, they go to the demigods. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planet. Those in the mode of passion live on earthly planet. And those in the abnormal mode of ignorance go down to hellish world. So this is going on. Somebody is getting promoted, somebody getting demoted, but this is all pain. Yes, it is painful. There is no happiness. Hmm? So Krishna says, you come back to me, become my devotee, worship me. You can just remember me, I'll take you home. Why all this? Because any good father doesn't like to see his children suffer. Yes or not? Huh?
Yes, bro.
Correct. So this is the idea of all these activities of the Lord, to educate the conditioned souls. Unless there's education, how the person will realize? Yes.
Yes.
Hmm. Correct.
Yes, bro. And Prabhu, we see that Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, that Shiva is the greatest among all the Vaishnavas, and the other hand we have the gopis are considered as the best among all the devotees. Of course, all devotees are very dear to Krishna, but comparing both Shiva and gopis, who is little superior? Uh,
Shiva
Prabhu,
and gopis, because the gopis are the most superior. They are, they are very, very, what say, exalted devotees. Right? You can see that is there in the verse, in the nectar of instruction, verse number what? 8, I think. Give me a minute. Let me find that for you.
okay.
So you can see here, in the nectar of instruction, so here you see in this verse,
Did Sundar Gopal Prabhu get disconnected?
Oh, we lost his connection, looks like.
Yeah. So
Let me check.
okay.
Stove is trying to join back.
online. I'm muted. My goodness, how to speak. So you can see from this statement here in this verse that how. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
You can see from this statement how the gopis are the most exalted. Huh? Correct?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
So their position is more superior than anybody else, even Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, whatever, because they are the pure devotees of the Lord. Huh? You understand?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
What is this? Right. So this is clear. I'm sure you understand why the gopis are the topmost devotees.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Very dear to Krishna. There's nobody more dear to him than the gopis. They are the topmost. Yeah?
Prabhu, looks like Surya Prabhu has some doubt in this.
And you can see here, again, next verse. Of the many objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Vijayabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within the holy waters, one's pure love for Krishna is fully aroused. So you see how exalted Srimati Radharani is. Hmm? Is the topmost devotee. Yes.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Ah, there's nobody more top than her in loving Krishna. So everyone is trying to get her favor so that they can also be of some service to Krishna. That's why bathing in a lake, Radha Kund, is so auspicious. Actually, Radha Kund was rediscovered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was lost when he was there 500 years ago. He asked everyone, "Where's Radha Kund?" Nobody could say. And then he went to one place in a small pool of water. He was bathing and he was saying, "This is Radha Kund." You see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, have again rediscovered the Radha Kund for us, coming generations to take advantage of. Yeah? Yes?
Bro. And Prabhu, for the Shaivites, he is the supreme being, Lord Shiva. And for us, he is the greatest devotees. And now we see the greatest devotees are gopis, and he does not make the top of the list, Shiva. And uh, where does he stand,
Shiva,
Prabhu?
Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
The topmost greatest, he says, but the topmost devotee is an expansion of Krishna, the internal potency, Aladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, bro.
And Shiva is also an expansion of Krishna. So how you can see all the differences like that?
Okay.
Exactly understands everything in proper perspective. Lord Shiva
Okay.
is an expansion of Krishna, but the loving exchange with Krishna, the topmost person who could do that is Srimati Radharani.
Uh,
Yes?
yes, bro.
Ah, just like different person have got different, status. Doesn't mean that because their status is a little lower, they're not important. Huh?
Yeah.
Everybody has a part to play, in Krishna's, what do you call that, Leela.
Yeah.
So we have to see like that,
Okay.
Lord Shiva is also called, what do you call? What? Gopishwara. His another name is Gopishwara. Huh?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, bro.
So among all the gopis, he is the topmost.
Yeah.
So his position is not minimized. Yes?
Yes, bro.
Huh? If you want to enter into the pastimes of the gopis, you must go through Gopishwara. He is the guardian of the gopis. That's why it's called Gopishwara. So all this kind of activities of Lord Shiva is there.
Yeah.
So you have to know everything in proper perspective. Any other questions?
There is one from YouTube, Prabhu.
What question?
So this person name is Shubham. So he is asking, being a terrible sinner, I have lost my health, career, everything. Will Krishna help me? I need his help in my material life now because I have lost interest in everything and only want material help to serve him.
So this is the position of a person who is favored by Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, if I especially favor someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. Then the relatives and friends of such a poverty-stricken man abandon him. In this way, he suffers one distress after another. So this person who has lost everything is actually favored by Krishna. Very fortunate. And then now he is coming to our devotional circle and asking. So Krishna says here, so here it says, so we read this, So you can see here, when he becomes frustrated in the attempt to make money and instead befriends my devotees, I bestow special mercy upon him. So now he has come to our devotional circle. So if he takes up this devotional process, then Krishna will give special mercy upon him. So this person is in a very, what we say, fortunate position. Although he has lost everything, he has come to the devotees. This is very good. So let him take up the process of chanting, associating with devotees, and then you see Krishna will give all his mercy to him. Yes? A person who has thus become sober, fully realized the Absolute as the highest truth, the most subtle and perfect manifestation of Spirit, the transcendental existence without end. In this way, realizing the Supreme Truth is the foundation of his existence, is free from the cycle of material life. And a person, when he becomes free from material life, he becomes fully happy. Yes? Huh? Hello? So this position of this gentleman is very, very, I would say, he is very fortunate. And now only he has to surrender, take up the process and start chanting. And you can see immediately everything will be blessed upon him. Who is this person? Someone can advise him accordingly. Hello?
Hare Krishna Guru Danur Pranam.
Yes.
My name is Amit Sharma. I am father of Shreya Sharma.
Father who?
Shreya Sharma.
Oh, yes. How can we serve you, sir?
No, it's my pleasure, Prabhuji.
Yes. So you have a question, sir?
No, I am just hearing to you.
Okay. So if you have lost anything, then are you the one who wrote that question?
No, Prabhuji.
No, okay. So whoever asked me that question, he is very fortunate that he has come to the devotees Sangha. So if someone can advise him accordingly, I'll be more than happy. Yes?
Ji, Prabhuji.
Hmm. So please try to take up the process because that is the real happiness. As we have discussed earlier, unless you become a devotee of Krishna, that's going to be a lot of problems. And the solution is to chant his name. Then only the conditioned soul will really become free from all problems. There is no other way to this in the material world. Whatever way you try will only give you distress. Until and unless you surrender to Krishna, there is no happiness. Yeah, that is the only solution. Yes. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Ah,
Prabhu, actually, I have seen one clip here saying that one can take bath in Radha Kund, but at sometimes Prabhupada says like it's forbidden for us to take bath in. So how should we take this one? Because at different times, different instructions has given by Prabhupada.
yeah, because when Prabhupada, was telling the devotees about the Radha Kund, they all went there and they used it as a Olympic-sized diving pool. They were going inside, jumping and splashing and swimming and doing all kind of freestyle inside. And when Prabhupada heard that, he said, you all don't go there and swim anymore.
Okay.
Because you're going inside and kicking Radharani, pond.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
You don't know like how to take bath. You have to go to the side like the Indians do, very respectfully. They take a dip and all that. But instead, the devotees thought that this was Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhupada stopped it. He said, no, you don't go there and do that. But if you can still go and take bath in a very reverential manner, dip
Yes,
yourself on the side, and there's no objection for that.
yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
You understand?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Any other questions? I want to ask this earlier but left it out because thought is not important. Is going to sauna considered to be an action of sense and bond purification? Well, you are coming from the very cold country where you have this problem of not perspiring, so this sauna thing is very good for cleaning yourself out. So if you are using it as a kind of a cleaning thing, purification, then it's okay. But if you're going to use it as some sense gratification, then that's bad. So whatever can be used in Krishna's service cannot be rejected. If you're cleaning yourself and getting yourself to do more service, then why not? Yes? But you're going to enjoy it like any other kind of thing, mundane, then that's bad. So you have to evaluate in that way, see how you can apply that for your purification. Hmm? Especially in the Western countries when it's so cold. So it's quite, what we say, relevant to take that. Otherwise, I don't see any other answers for that. Hmm?
Prabhu, we see both Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, they teach that Vishnu is the source of Krishna. And we say the opposite of it. So why did they teach this thing?
See, they are preaching according to time and circumstances.
Okay.
So every acharya has come for certain purpose and certain time.
Okay.
Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to establish Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Like he sent Buddha to teach people to reject the Vedas. Huh?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
So we have got all of them according to the time and space. They say things, but they are not saying that either Vishnu or Krishna is not the Supreme. Correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
So try to understand. We have to always take the acharyas, according to their roles they play. Buddha is not bad, but he came to disrupt save the animals from being killed.
Yeah.
Correct? But
Yes,
his
sir.
teaching we reject because it's not very profound. It's against the Vedic scriptures. Similarly, everyone has got their role. Shankaracharya came to drive away the Buddhists. Doesn't mean that he is bad. No, he came to reinstall the Vedas.
Yeah.
You understand? So all of them have a role to play, and that's all the plan of the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't Lord Buddha say that Krishna is Supreme God? You can ask that question also, correct? Since
Yes,
he
sir.
is Supreme, he came for a purpose, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yes.
So the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is complete.
Yeah, because he has come to give Krishna Prem, no, love of God, which is the highest. Nobody has done that, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Who has become more merciful than Krishna in that expansion, in that avatar? Nobody. Correct. Therefore, whenever Krishna comes, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also comes. Because Krishna says surrender. How to surrender? He has to teach, no?
Yes, correct.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Unless the Lord teaches us, how we learn?
That's
Yes?
right.
So unless we accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's very difficult to develop a loving relationship with God, Krishna. So like a Prabhupada give the example. The student doesn't know how to write, so the teacher takes his hand and he kind of writes for him. This is A, and this is B. Teachers seem like that, is it not?
Yes, correct.
So the same way, the Krishna comes as his devotee and to teach how to love him. So we learn.
Yes, ma'am.
You follow?
Yes, yes.
So that is how we understand why different acharyas play different roles.
Yes.
Any other questions? Nobody has questions, huh? Everybody is okay today.
All glories to Prabhu. Accept my humble obeisances. Prabhu, when you are coming back,
Who is this?
RJ Prabhu.
Oh, well, I don't know. I've got some work here also. We're having a Rath Yatra on on August the 19th.
Oh, okay.
So until then, I've got some work here. And there I just came, When already you're asking me when I'm coming back.
Missing you, Prabhu.
I mean, I've been sitting there for years. I was there in Singapore for 4 years plus. Huh? Yes.
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
I'm only here for 4 days. You're already asking when I'm returning. Yes. So you have to also allow others to get the chance to associate.
Yes, Prabhu.
Huh? So there's a question: how a devotee husband preach to a non-devotee wife? What if the wife doesn't get convinced? So the best way to preach to your wife is to get a devotee, woman or whoever, to speak to her and explain, because of your intimate relationship with the person, your wife, she tend to be familiar and will not accept, So the best I would say is get somebody else to talk to her and try to convince her. In that way, she will be more cooperative in listening. Maybe you can go together to the temple and one devotee can talk to her. That will be very nice. That way she can get more convinced, you see. Huh? This is a better approach. Of course, if your wife is submissive, it's very good, but it sometimes it's a little difficult. Hmm? Yes. So here's another question. Thank you. How to surrender being a sinner? Thanks for answering my question. So Krishna says, Api chet sudacharo, even you are a sinner, if you have taken up the process of Krishna consciousness, then you are saintly. Hmm? So here you can see Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Api chet su duracharaha bhajante mam ananyabhag sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito he saha. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So once you have come to Krishna consciousness, then you are actually rightly situated. Even you are the greatest of sinners. So Krishna says in the next verse, very quickly you will become righteous. Say that. Hmm? See, he very quickly become righteous and attains a lasting peace. Huh? So this is important. The moment you come to Krishna consciousness, then very quickly you become purified. Even though we are the most fallen sinners. Yeah? So how do you know Krishna has accepted you? How do you know? Hmm? It is explained in this verse. In the Bhagavatam, this verse is explained what happens when you become a devotee of Krishna. Hmm? So immediately you get three things. You get devotion, you get realization, and you get free from sinful activities. Huh? Right? So this is how you can test. So in this verse you can see Bhakti Parasa Anubhava Virakti Anyatra Chaisya Trika Ek Kalaha Pradya Prapadya Manasya Yatasnata Hasyus Tusti Pusti Chut Apayo Nu Dasam. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. The analogy is given: how do you know you are satisfied? In the process of eating, it brings about pleasure, it brings about nourishment, and it brings relief from hunger. These are the three conditions of knowing how you are satisfied when eating. Similarly, how you know you're getting the love for Krishna connection, you must get bhakti, you must get realization, and the main thing that you become free from all this, detached from sinful life. So if you get all these things, then you know Krishna has accepted you. If you're not getting free and you're still committing sinful activities, that means you're not getting connected to Krishna. Huh? Understand? This is how we gauge and judge the process. Huh? Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this analogy as follows. Bhakti or devotion may be compared to tusti, satisfaction, because they both take to the form of pleasure. Parasa Anubhava, experience of the Supreme Lord, and pusti, nourishment, acknowledges because both sustain one's life. Finally, virakti, detachment, and chudapaya, cessation of hunger, may be compared because both free one from further hankering so that one may experience shanti or peace. A person who is eating only become uninterested in other activities, but increasingly become uninterested in the food itself, according to his satisfaction. On the other hand, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, although one who is experiencing the blissful personality of Godhead Krishna, he becomes uninterested in anything other than Krishna. His attachment to Krishna increases at every moment. Therefore, it is to be understood that the transcendental beauty and qualities of the Supreme Lord are not material, since one never becomes satiated by relishing the bliss of the Supreme Lord. The word virakti is very significant in this verse. Virakti means detachment, whereas tyaga means renunciation. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the word renunciation can be used in a situation in which one considers giving up an enjoyable object. But by considering everything to be the potential paraphernalia in the service of Lord Krishna, as described in the previous verse, one need not give thought to renunciation, for one uses everything in proper way in the service of the Lord. Yutta vairagyam yuchyate. The very pleasant analogy of food, of a good meal, is given in this verse. A hungry man busily consumes a sumptuous plate of food, is not interested in anything else happening around him. In fact, he considers any other topic or activity a disturbance to his concentration on the delicious meal. Similarly, as one advances in Krishna consciousness, one considers anything unrelated to devotional service of Krishna an obnoxious disturbance. Since concentrated love of Godhead has been described in the second canto of the Bhagavatam in the words of Trivena Bhakti Yogena Yajate Purusham Param, one should not make an artificial show of renunciation, renouncing the material world. Rather, one should systematically train the mind to see everything as an expansion of the opulence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just as a hungry materialistic man, upon seeing sumptuous food, immediately desires to put it in his mouth. An advanced devotee of Krishna, upon seeing a material object, immediately becomes eager to use it for the pleasure of Krishna. Without the spontaneous hunger to engage everything in the service of Krishna and to dive deeper and deeper into the ocean of love of Krishna is called realization of God. Or loose talk about so-called religious life is irrelevant to the actual experience of entering the kingdom of God. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the path of Bhakti Yoga is so joyful and practical that even in the stage of sadhana bhakti, in which one follows rules and regulations without an advanced understanding, one can perceive the ultimate result. According to Rupa Goswami, ईआयस्य हरे दास्य कर्मण मनस गिरा निकलास्व apyavastasu jivan mukta sauchite. As soon as one surrenders to the Supreme Lord Krishna, prapadya manasya, giving up all other activities, virakti anyatra cha, one immediately be considered a liberated soul, jivan mukta. The Supreme Lord Krishna is so merciful that when a living entity understands the personality of Krishna is the source of everything and surrenders to the Lord, Krishna personally takes charge of him and reveals to him within his heart that he is under the Lord's full protection. Thus, devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and detachment from other objects become manifest even in the beginning stage of Bhakti Yoga. Since Bhakti Yoga begins at the point of liberation, other processes have their final goal of salvation or liberation, but according to Bhagavad Gita, सर्वधर्म परित्याज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वं सर्वे पापेभ्यो मोक्षयास्मि मा शुचः. If one surrenders to Krishna, one is immediately liberated and thus begins his career as a transcendental devotee with complete confidence in the Lord's protection. So I think this is a very good purport explaining how one gets a chance to develop his love. So this is how you understand. Huh? Jayananda, it is very good that he has stated what is the use of such a useless body, better to give it up. He has left his body, very wonderful. Has been transferred to Vaikuntha. I have already sent a condolence letter to the publication back to Garden. Follow the example of Jayananda. I am very proud that I had such a nice disciple. If possible, Jayananda's picture should be hung in the Rath of Lord Jagannath and all our temples. The day may be set aside for honoring a festival in honor, as we do on the discipline day of other great Vaishnavas. In this Rath Yatra and having a festival, because I heard about him just recently and about Prabhupada wish photo on Rath Yatra and having a festival day for him, if possible. So yeah, you can, we have to follow what Prabhupada have said. We are not against worshipping an exalted Vaishnava, as Prabhupada has declared. Vaishnavas are always glorious, and we worship Vaishnavas. We also get purified, stated here in this verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying this when he met Sanatana Goswami. He was saying these verses. We can just read together. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began cleansing Sanatana Goswami's body with his own transcendental hand, Sanatana Goswami said, "Oh my Lord, please do not touch me." The Lord replied, "I am touching you just to purify myself, because by the force of your devotional service, you can purify the whole universe." You see how powerful devotees are. By the force of their devotional service, they can purify the whole world. Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage. Because of their purity, they are constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. See? This is a verse that's spoken by Yudhishthira to Vidura. Lord Krishna says, even though a person is very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literature, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog eaters is very dear to me, if he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activity or mental speculation. Indeed, all respect should be given to him. Whatever he offers should be accepted. Such a devotee are worshipable as I am. You see the position of devotee. A devotee who is chanting Krishna's name is very, very exalted. Just here, the position of Sanatana Goswami. One may be born in a Brahmana family and have all the 12 Brahminical qualities, but if he is not devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped like a lotus, he is not as good as a Chandala who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the service of the Lord. Simply to take birth in a Brahmana family or to have Brahminical quality is not sufficient. One must become a pure devotee of Lord. If a Swapaka, Pacha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself but his whole family. Whereas a Brahmana who is not a devotee but simply has Brahminical qualification cannot purify even himself, what to speak about his family. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, by seeing you, by touching you, and by glorifying your transcendental qualities, one can perfect the purpose of all sense activity. This is the Vedic of the revealed scriptures. Then he quoted this verse. My dear Vaishnav, seeing a person like you is the perfection of one's eyesight. Touching your lotus feet is the perfection of the sense of touch. And glorifying your good qualities is the tongue's real activity. For in the material world, it's very difficult to find a pure devotee of the Lord. So you see how we are supposed to glorify a pure devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, my dear Sanatan, please hear from me. Krishna is very merciful. He is the deliverer of all fallen souls. So you see how Prabhupada, has detected Jayananda as a pure devotee, and he wants us to commemorate his disappearance day as a very holy day. So this is to help us also to honor Vaishnavas. Any other questions?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, just one more question. We see Prabhupada uses the word rascal many times, and some people get shocked. How can a big guru speak words like this? So, what are we supposed to reply them?
When Prabhupada said cult, means he was referring to our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's association, the group, He's not referring it as a cult in the derogatory sense,
Yeah.
So he's using it in a tense to refer to the association rather than to claim it as something very, bad. So we take it like that.
Okay.
Just like in India, I have come here to India and they have this bank called the Syndicate Bank,
Yes, sir.
So when you say syndicate bank, it becomes very suspicious for me, because the word syndicate is very yes.
Yes, sir.
But you take it in another sense that it is a bank that is very much recognized by the government and they are doing some very legitimate business,
Yes.
You understand?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So it's the context of how you see it,
Okay. And also, I've read in Prabhupada Leelamrita that once even Prabhupada said, I use words like rascal and I shouldn't have. I think you have said it.
What Prabhupada said again, please?
I use words like rascal and I shouldn't have said.
I don't know where it is. If it's there in a letter, then it's okay, because
Okay.
unless Prabhupada has said in some letters and reference, then I would not take the Leela Amrita into confidence, because it was written by Satsrup Maharaj, who himself is not authorized, personality.
Okay.
So if you can show me the letter where Prabhupada said that, then I'll be more than happy to, um, refer to that.
Okay.
All right. So any other questions before we thank you all for your kind association? Nice meeting all of you. I wish you all can come here for the Rath Yatra. It's going to happen in August 19, Saturday. Well, someone is asking me a question. Prabhu, do you think about karma? Do you believe in karma? Someone asked him. Of course, we believe in karma. Well, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained karma as three kinds: karma, vikarma, and akarma. Well, Krishna explained that. Vikarma, akarma means, karma means action according to the karma kanda section of the Vedas. And then you have got vikarma. Vikarma means forbidden, sinful activities we are not supposed to do. And then you have akarma, actions serving Krishna, where you don't get any reaction. There are three kinds of activities. Karma simply means activities. How can there be no activities? Huh? Yes? I have to go back and log in. All right, I got to log in and I have to show you the screen again. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained, you see, karma means action. Everybody has to do some kind of action. Nobody can be without doing any action, right? See? See, jatu tista karma krit. See the word avashya karma. See that? Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities as required from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. So everybody is implicated in some karma. You cannot say that karma we believe or don't believe. How you can say that? Everybody has to, the moment a person takes birth, he is already implicated in doing some things. So that's why he says something, not even for a moment. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Yeah? So karma is there. Whether you are doing sinful activities or whether you are doing karma kanda activities or you are doing some Krishna conscious activities, but you must do some activities. Therefore, Krishna said, better you do activities too. He says here, let's read this one first. So you see, niyatam kuru karma tvam karma tyaj yajyo ye akarmanaha. So in this verse, perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one physical body without work. So how you can say we get karma is whether it's real or not real? We all have to work. You cannot even maintain your body without work. So then Krishna is saying that you must do all this work. Very famous verse. Work is done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction. And that way you will remain free from bondage. So this is how we apply our karma. How to apply our karma? We have to do activities that will please Krishna. Okay, you go to work, you get some money, you give some portion to Krishna, or you want to eat, you eat food that first offered to Krishna. So in this way, all your activities should be dovetailed in serving Krishna. Then you become free from this reaction of sinful activities. So by acting in a God-conscious manner, you go back to the spiritual world. So this is important. That's why this karma is not some kind of a always getting bad reaction is karma. But the karma means there is good action, there is bad action, and there is a neutral action where you don't get reaction. In fact, on serving Krishna, you burned up all the bad and good reaction. You know. So this is very important. That's why devotees are encouraged to do service for Krishna. And especially if you chant Hare Krishna, then you rid yourself of all this bad karma. Yes? Asking questions? So related question, is there any luck? People say good luck, bad luck, but devotees say that nothing happens by chance. Yes, there is good luck and there is bad luck. But the devotees, it says here in this verse, let's take to that verse. When the devotees, they are more concerned, I think it is 9. Subha Subha Palarneva, what is that? What? 7? 929. Yeah, no, Samaham. 28. Okay, here 928 you can see. There's luck. And luck is coming because of your good activities. And when you do bad activities, you get bad luck, sinful. Yes. So Subha, Asubha, Palar. You see this word here? Subha means from auspicious. Asubha and inauspicious. Pala means result. So there's good and bad luck. Right? In this way, you will be free from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious result. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So when you work for Krishna, then you become free from this good luck and bad luck. How to do that? As Krishna says here, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So when you do this Krishna conscious activity, then you'll be freed from all this good luck and bad luck and everything. Anyway, I think the moment you become Krishna conscious, everything auspicious comes to you. So you must understand that, when you do sinful activities, you get bad luck. When you do good activities, you get blessings from Krishna. Prabhu, everything that happens because of the will of Krishna, right? So if I throw a ball, it reaches from A to B. The ball as destined by Krishna will reach there. But the ball did not do any karma to reach there. Rather, it just said, as it is, can you help me on this one? We are talking about the spirit soul here. The ball is actually not a living being. So the ball is matter, dead matter. It does not have any karma. The karma is pertaining to the living entity performing actions. Whereas the ball is inactive, it is not a living being. Only living beings have got karma. And that also Only human beings are subject to this karma, whereas the lower species like plants, trees, and all that, they are already suffering their karma according to. So there is no karma in their action. For example, if a tiger eats an animal, there's no karma for the tiger. But if you eat an animal, you get the severe reaction. So that's different. Just like the laws, if the dog crosses at the traffic light, there's no ticket for the dog. But if you cross the light at the wrong light, at the red light, then you're going to get a ticket. So that is different. See, even animals, they are not subject to, but human beings, they are subject to all this intricacy of karma. So the ball, when you throw, the ball is neutral, is a dead matter. Wherever it goes according to one who throws. So that person who throws the ball and hits someone, then he's creating karma, not the ball. The judge won't judge the ball, he will judge the person who throw the ball. Yes? Hello? Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danvas Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. I have a question, Prabhuji. I know we talked about Lord Shiva today, and I heard that there are two types of Shiva. So if we see with respect to cosmic manifestation perspective, so one Shiva, is situated in the 14 planetary system, the above, and the other one is above this 14 planetary systems, which is like Mahesh Dham. So what's the difference? Like we talked about Gopeshwara, Gopi Ishwar, right? So who Shiva is this? And then who is like Mahakal? We heard, right? There is a temple in Ujjain. So how to differentiate, Prabhuji?
See, Lord Shiva, he has got, I think, 12 expansions, different names, Lord Shiva.
Okay.
So according to that, each Shiva may have different roles, Like we say Gopishwara Shiva. His role is to help the living entity to enter into the pastimes of Krishna. So in Vrindavan, before you want to go into Rasa Lila and all, you have to get the blessings of Lord Shiva. Okay?
Okay.
So now the Lord Shiva, who is actually taking care of Durga, he is called by a different name. When Durga is manifesting herself completely, Lord Shiva also does not associate with her. He stays at a distance. Maya is too strong, So accordingly, Lord Shiva has got different pastimes, and accordingly his name, like that. So our whole idea is to mostly concentrate on worshipping Krishna.
Okay.
We're not so much concerned about the activities of Lord Shiva, except knowing that he is a great devotee of Krishna. So we should concentrate more on trying to develop our association with Krishna. Otherwise, we may get a little bit sidetracked and start thinking that I should also worship Lord Shiva, and that will go against the teaching of Prabhupada,
Right.
So that much we have to do. We should understand he is the great personality.
Right.
Beyond that, I don't know why we should dwell on it,
Okay. Yeah, I agree, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you.
So Lord Shiva and Srimati Radharani are both sometimes called Hara. So I guess the word Hara means the internal potency of the Lord. So being the energy of the Lord, so she is addressed as Hara. And Lord Shiva is also the one of the Guna avatar. and he is also in the mode of ignorance, doing the work, taking charge of mode of ignorance. That's why he addresses Hara Hara Mahadev. Yes, so it's
Right.
referred to as the energy that is for the what, in charge of the mode of ignorance. So in that sense, it will be referred to as Hara. Whereas the Hare that Krishna in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that's referring to Radharani, who is the internal potency of the Lord, the Haladini Shakti.
Yep.
So it all refers to the energy of the Lord. Both of them are energies of the Lord.
Right, Prabhuji, yes. So, Prabhuji, can a living entity also become Lord Shiva? Like we heard, the living entity can become Brahma also.
Living entity cannot be a Shiva. Only a living entity can become a Brahma, but not a Shiva.
Okay, okay. Although that's not the goal of life, but just checking.
Yeah, the Lord Shiva the living entity cannot attain that position.
Okay.
Only up to the point of being a Brahma, he can become a Brahma, but not a Shiva, not Vishnu. No, he cannot.
Okay, okay. Thanks.
Because he is in the, lower than Lord Brahma, that position of the living entity. He can develop all the qualities of Lord Brahma, 78% or something like that. Then higher than that is Lord Shiva, he's got more percentage. And because of the Lord Shiva is actually incarnation of Krishna, in the mode of ignorance to take care of Maya. So to handle the Maya, Krishna is in the external energy, the living entity cannot do that. On the contrary, he gets covered by Maya.
Okay.
You follow? So only God can handle the Maya,
Right, Prabhuji.
So Lord Shiva's position is unique in the sense, that's why he's compared to milk and yogurt, no? So it's also from milk, but it's yogurt. And yogurt, you cannot get milk. From milk, you can get yogurt. See, that's the superior position of Krishna. That's how the Brahma Samhita it is explained, no? Right? So this is how Shiva is there, because Krishna is light, and Maya is darkness. So wherever there's light, there cannot be darkness. So how to handle the darkness? So Krishna has to create an in-between personality, and that's Lord Shiva.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So that in-between personality can handle Maya. Otherwise, Maya is always behind Krishna, no?
Right.
So this is how it works actually. That's why Lord Shiva's position is very, very exalted, not some ordinary person. All right, so any more inquiries?
Prabhu, I have already asked, but I'm not sure if it's good. If we have time, I can ask questions if it's okay with you.
What is your question?
Prabhuji, I have actually two questions. There is the verse in, there's a text in Guru Puja, Ebe Jas Gushuk Tribhuvana. So we are saying that may your glories be proclaimed in all the three worlds. So I have previously heard that, even in the upper planets, there is some sort of, I'm not sure about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who's the Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master. He's gone to maybe moon to preach. I'm not sure. But, my background was in my childhood, I had a great desire to visit the heavenly planets. It's like kind of, instinct or whatever. So I'm not fully purified of it. but it sometimes it's negatively stated that you just go there and burn your good karma like a vacation and then come back on earth. I'm not sure, like, is it a feasible, you can say, proposition that there is some kind of preaching going on in upper planets and one can purify oneself gradually, and while enjoying the higher delights that God has created in the world. And secondly, Prabhuji, like, there are the ups and downs in spiritual life. Um, as per the verse Bhagavad Gita 240, whatever progress we make is eternal in our bhakti path. So, I mean, but one may at least feel, suppose I don't chant for 2 days. When I pick up my beats afterwards, I would feel like I'm very low. Even on one day, if I don't chant, in the morning, we don't chant, at least in my stage. In the evening, if I pick up my beats, I would say today I'm feeling really low in my spiritual consciousness. So, but there have been occasions like, ecstatic harinams in the past I have attended, or some lecture where I was very much inspired. I felt like I'm very high in Krishna consciousness. I feel very inspired. So, the ups and downs kind of take me nowhere. I feel like what was my progress that I felt so high sometimes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So the first question about the desire of going to the heavenly planet, you see, when a person is not fully cured of his spiritual, not cured of his material disease, so all these desires will be there in his heart, You understand? So materially, a person in a neophyte stage practices Krishna consciousness, and it is called the aparat, stage. So that at this stage, he will still have all these other desires, So as soon as we keep chanting, all these desires over time will disappear from the heart because the heart gets purified. You follow?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That is why Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari makavitam. I don't want wealth, I don't want women, I don't want any followers. So this stage is a neutral stage, where a person, when he chants, he doesn't want anything anymore. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, when he met the Lord, he said, no, I don't want anything. I came here looking for valuable broken glasses, but I found a valuable jewel instead. So I have no more desires. So in spiritual life, a person progresses, as he keeps chanting more and more and more, as he becomes steady, then all this kind of desires will vanish from his heart. It has to vanish because it brings about a higher taste. Just like you say, in the Bhagavad Gita, Rasavarjam Rasopyasya, when a person gets a higher taste, he gives up the lower taste.
Yeah.
So as you are making progress, this will come to you naturally. So regarding your next question is that you are going like a roller coaster ride, up and down, yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the solution for that is explained here. So you see in this verse, the devotees of the Lord, peacefully fixed in absolute knowledge, are the ultimate shelter for those who are repeatedly rising and falling within the fearful ocean of material life. Such devotees are just like strong boats that come to rescue persons who are at point of drowning. So if you want to come out of your rising and falling position, then you must take shelter of the devotees. So unless you go to the devotees, it's very difficult for you to maintain that steadiness. That's why temple is so important, and the temple's program is something that you must plug on with. So you go there, you plug on, then you get to become regulated. That's why deity worship is very important. There's fixed time of offering, the fixed time of waking up the deities, and all this fixation helps steady the devotee. You understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
But if you are not plugged in with the devotee association or with the temple, then you will face this problem, because at this neophyte stage, this is what's going on. Sometimes happy, sometimes blissful, sometimes you're not interested, because that is the condition of a person who is beginning in Krishna consciousness. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you take advantage how to settle this. You go and associate with devotees who are fixed up, or you go to a temple where a steady program is conducted, and that will definitely help regulate you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Regarding the first question, Prabhu, is there any preaching? Have you come across any text, or like there is preaching possibility in the upper planets, or is it like impossible? Like one must come down. There is a verse that says that after coming from the upper planets, one must come to Earth. Is it possible, like because I have sometimes earlier heard that many devotees in ISKCON, or maybe Prabhupada's movements, like they are most likely going to the upper planets because the enjoyment mentality is not cleared, so it's a gradual process. Some devotees previously I have heard like that. I'm not sure that in one life it is possible, but not sure.
Can you read this one? The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planet, the pious living entity is born into a family of righteous people or in the family of rich aristocracy. So a person who has got the desire to go to the heavenly planet, after going to the heavenly planet, enjoying there for many years, he takes birth again in family of righteous people or in the family of rich aristocracy. Is the verse? There's also another verse here that shows that when a person goes to the heavenly planet and then he finishes his term, he comes down again. Yeah, see. So a person is promoted to the heavenly planet, then he returns. When they have thus enjoys vast heavenly sense pleasure and the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who are seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principle of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
Ruchi, but in my case, if I were to go, or if somebody from Krishna consciousness, it's more or less we are not doing some karma kind of, that we are not worshipping demigods. We are just more or less, you can say, we are depending on Krishna's mercy.
Where you
We are,
go, what you do, this is not in your control.
yeah. No, but desires are there. Like I'm the soul, the driver of the.
No, you
Sorry.
cannot say all this because you don't know what you're going to happen to you.
No, at least I can desire being a conscious being.
You may
I've
desire.
desired.
This is all depends whether Krishna want to award your desire or not.
Yes.
Ultimately, Krishna is the permitter, no? Correct?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
You cannot judge, I desire the heavenly planet and I want to go there. But what if you go to the hellish planet?
I hope not. If I can practice Krishna consciousness, I hope not. But
So you
never
practice
know.
Krishna consciousness, you have to practice it with the direction of the spiritual master.
Yeah.
You cannot practice Krishna consciousness according to your own speculation. No, it doesn't work, You understand? That's why initiation is very important. You must go and take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Without that, there's no meaning to your devotional service. In fact, it says if you don't get connected, your devotional service are useless. And another thing, it says that you can descend into animal species. Huh? You understand?
Okay.
It is not that you go, I'm sure I'm going to heaven now. This is all contaminated consciousness, A devotee, where he goes, what he does, even Lord Brahma is praying, even if I have to take birth again, I only pray that if you can grant me that I take birth in the house of a devotee. Even Lord Brahma doesn't know where he is going. What is speak about you and me? Huh? You understand?
Yeah.
Everybody should humble himself, and not think like that. He should think, my dear Lord, you please, save me. All may be sounding nice, going to heaven and enjoying and all, because we have the tendency to enjoy.
Yes.
We need to purify that enjoying tendency, That's why Krishna consciousness is the program. But it cannot, our heart cannot become purified unless we have a guru. Because guru means then all our false ego, everything will get smashed. Understand?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just carry on chanting and just live with the speculation of our mind. Today this, tomorrow that. It never ends. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So in order to purify ourselves, we definitely need to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, spiritual life has got no meaning. And like you say, roller coaster, up, down, feel like doing, don't feel like doing, and this is all will go on and on. So when you take shelter of spiritual master, then you can steady yourself in spiritual life. The first thing the spiritual master does is take away all your past karma. So much of karma is all wiped out by the process of initiation. And then he guides you with transcendental knowledge that you get a better understanding, you get purified, you get understanding, and everything becomes very much inspiring. That spiritual master. Krishna himself says you must go and surrender to such a realized soul. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you must follow this process. Otherwise, you will have endless questions, it will go on and on and on. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Which part of the world you're from?
I am from India, born in Punjab, but right now I'm staying in East India, Sikkim. Yeah.
Sikkim. Oh.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Do we have a temple?
I'm thinking to come to Singapore probably maybe later in the year. I'm not sure if I can stay there, Prabhuji. Singapore, there are some, but I heard it's very expensive place to stay there.
Right now I'm here in Pondicherry. Why don't you come down?
Prabhuji, little weather problems are there right now. Too much heavy rain here. Flights are not running.
Flights are not running, but train are running.
Prabhuji, with job, it's a bit difficult to travel.
Hey, if you can come, I'm here now. Why don't you come down and we can associate, No?
Sure, Prabhuji, I have to think about it.
That'll be the best, huh? You come here, huh?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I guess we have crossed our time. I thank you all for your very nice association. I hope I had been of some use to all of you. So please give us your transcendental mercy that we can carry on preaching Krishna consciousness for the pleasure of Prabhupada and all the devotees like yourselves. Hare Krishna then, hope to see you again soon. All glories to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
God bless.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.